we just got a ton of information about Pokemon Sword and Shield, but it makes me ask the question, what if this is all that the games have to offer? And would you still enjoy them? Now, this is assuming that everything else about a new Pokemon generation is going to be the same. That we still have dozens of new Pokemon be revealed, there's going to be an engaging story with some interesting quirks and some pretty epic exploration, and then the post-game is going to have a battle tower or some kind of battle facility. You do your grinding, you get your competitive items, and then competitive Pokemon is still going to be a pretty solid experience. EV training, IV grinding, breeding, maybe even like an SOS, Dex Nav, Pokeradar kind of feature as well that helps you get other kind of Pokemon in the wild. So everything about a core Pokemon generation is going to be the same, except the only new features in Pokemon Sword and Shield are going to be Dynamaxing, the wild area, and max raid battles. Would you be okay with that? Now, on paper, it seems like a yes, because Dynamaxing enhances competitive, and the wild area sounds like everything that every Pokemon fan thought of when they heard Pokemon Switch. You know, that Breath of the Wild, open exploration, even like Mario Odyssey levels of like crazy new exploration that's available, overworld Pokemon, dynamic weather, dynamic ways of encountering them, and then you do max raid battles on top of that, which is also unprecedented. That we have multiplayer co-op, either local or Wi-Fi, that isn't just competitive battles and actually works towards a greater goal that also enhances your gameplay experience. So I feel like we're in an interesting position because this video is going to talk about what else Pokemon Sword and Shield can bring to the table. So if you end up enjoying the video, don't forget to leave a like. If you're engaging in this discussion, also share this video with your friends. Get in like Facebook groups, Discord, Twitter, all that good stuff. Get everyone watching this video, get everyone talking about it, because there's two answers. Yes, the games are fine even if it's just this, or no, the games would suck if it's just this. And no matter what you answer, you're actually in a good position because very, very likely, if not guaranteed, there's going to be a lot more inside of Pokemon Sword and Shield. So let's talk about that by going into what was in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, as well as Pokemon Sun and Moon. You know, there were a lot of features in Pokemon Sun and Moon that were just overlooked. The games had tons of gameplay, but people didn't really care about them too much. We had the Battle Royal. I think I played it once when I was forced to in the story, and I wasn't interested enough to play it again. I didn't really see many other people engaging with it, playing with it, trying to do any cool things about it, because it was kind of a jank, messed up format. It wasn't like a true free-for-all, but that was a new feature that was introduced. And then with this, you know, new features coming to Pokemon Sun and Moon. This was teased fairly early on, and it kind of gave us a hint at some of the new things to expect. This turned out to be Island Trials, not gyms. That turned out to be Z-moves. So, I mean, we already have gyms confirmed, which kind of ties in with Dynamaxing, which kind of ties in with Z-moves. So, that kind of knocks off a couple of boxes of what to expect. And then I guess the other thing is like Pokéride, which kind of seems to be taken over by Rotom as well as Corviknight and a few other things. So, alright, we've pretty much made it this far when it comes to, you know, maybe like Dynamaxing, raid battles. It's like, that's it when it comes to Pokemon Sun and Moon features, but it just kept getting more and more. The QR scanner, that was something really interesting and unique. It didn't unlock as many events, you know, it was like the Magearna event, but that tied in with Isle Scan. So if there's like an island scan kind of feature or a way of getting other Pokemon to spawn from other areas or other regions, kind of like a lot of the things, what were they called? Oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember Generation 4 when there was like the invasions that Pokemon had. Right, the swarms, otherwise known as Pokemon outbreaks, which were also in Generations 2 and 3, and yeah, Generations 2 to 5. So that was a feature that kind of got like downplayed a bit, but then it was replaced with other features and stuff. And like I said, you know, there could even be something like a Dex Nav, there can be something like a Poke Finder or Pokeradar, and it's like, alright, they could just add that as a little bit of an extra feature, because Isle Scan kind of fits in with that, SOS battling, stuff like that. And then the Trophy Garden, there could just be an area where a certain Pokemon spawns every day, or there could be a pseudo-swarm kind of thing that adds into the Galar region. So, I mean, there's been so many features throughout Pokemon that have been tweaked, adapted, or just remade, or just entirely new features, to where, yeah, we should be expecting a lot more when it comes to Pokemon Sword and Shield. And then we had the Poke Finder. I feel like the Poke Finder is kind of like the Alola Photo Club, that not because it takes pictures, but it was a feature that didn't really give you too much benefit, but it was kind of cool, kind of killed some time, and some people made use of it. And actually, another thing that's already included with Pokemon Sword and Shield at this point is trainer customization. So you got a little work right there. There's probably going to be a Pokemon Refresh, Pokemon of Me feature. One of the leaks says that's like a camping feature. Some of you have that, but then we still have more features to get into. So the Pokepelago is one of my favorite things that has ever been introduced by Pokemon, because it takes a few days to grind up. You know, if you're just being very optimal min-maxing with your beans and then getting the right things leveled up, you get tons of benefit from the Pokepelago, because you can do EV training passively. You can get some experience. Even without the Pokepelago glitch, still very effective EV training and getting Pokemon up to high levels, and then going through the caves, you know, doing the mining to get all those extra items. All this is just passively giving you benefit, which is why I really like, again, compared to like the Alola Photo Club or the Pokefinder. But then the Festival Plaza. The Festival Plaza actually had a lot going for it, and would have been a really great feature if it actually gave you some benefit. Festival Plaza didn't really do much. I can dye my shirt, and I can get some Pokeballs, and I get some very basic items that I could just find or buy with money. So the idea of the festival coins didn't really play out too well. Now, there were some things like the leveling and a few exclusive items, but they didn't really affect any of your gameplay, so it wasn't worth going for. That either Game Freak was being intentionally cautious about not letting you like grind up your Festival Plaza and get overpowered, or it was just a bad feature, and then the connectivity of the Festival Plaza was terrible. I would say the PSS isn't perfect, but it was way better than what we got here. Like, this just didn't work most of the time, which also kind of killed off the competitive, and then the missions didn't really work out. But I mean, imagine a Festival Plaza where you have like customizable areas, because that's another thing that I really like in my Pokemon. I want secret bases. I want underground bases. I want an area that I can call my own that grants me benefits. That's why I really like the Pokebelago. That's why the Festival Plaza could have been amazing. So what's on the table for Pokemon Sword and Shield is still an enhanced Festival Plaza, something like the Pokepelago. And then there were all the other features that kind of tied into the online and the battle spot that were, in theory, really good features, but kind of didn't work out because all the hacking being available before Pokemon Sun and Moon came out objectively killed Pokemon Sun and Moon. So there was like the weakest competitive scene we'd ever seen for even a new Pokemon game. You know, Pokemon X and Y, people wanted to train their Pokemon, people wanted to breed, people wanted to do all these like really cool battle ideas. Game Freak implemented in Generation 7, where you could actually like download rules and regulations. You can also get rental teams and stuff, but no one really utilized those features. So I think the problem about Pokemon Sun and Moon not was that it didn't have enough features, people just didn't engage with them. And I wouldn't say that it's because they were bad features, it's because the hacking and the community was just super toxic and dead at that point. And then going into Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. So when we look at the complete Generation 7, we also have an extra battle facility. We have Mantine Surf, which is an alternative way of getting BP, which also brought us tutor moves. Now, I don't know if Pokemon Sword and Shield is going to kick off with tutor moves. That might be a thing. Totem stickers, you passively collect them, some you gotta hunt for, and you did get a little bit of a benefit from them, from a guaranteed Pokemon that also has like a different weight. I think totem stickers maybe could have rewarded you a bit more. Mantine Surf, Poke Ride, and then there was also the Ultra Warp Ride. So the Ultra Warp Ride was another method of shiny hunting, a way of getting legendary Pokemon, and then also just kind of had some other benefits. Roto Lotto, I didn't like the Roto Dex, but the Roto Lotto kind of being like O powers, enhancing your experience. Isle Scan still worked, and then the Photo Club. So I didn't do it. Some people could have spent some time on it. It reminds me of the PR studio from X and Y, which I actually spent a lot of hours making the perfect videos and perfect memes back in the Pokemon X and Y era. But when you think about it, Pokemon Sun and Moon was overloaded with features. You know, Pokemon Sword and Shield could easily implement another 5 very in-depth, crazy gameplay things and probably go up to 10 and still have it all be healthy and good and interactive for the game. You know, the max raid battles is almost like that extra feature that you really wouldn't expect that could probably add and bring so much more to these games. And then if there's like any more expansion on the wild area, but even outside of that, you know, if I'm in the wild area and I got like a Pokepelago thing going on in the background, or maybe another thing could be a pseudo underground. Like the caves look super well thought out and super in depth. And I'm wondering if like those are actually shards. Like if it turns out that this is a shard mine and maybe there's a mini game that you can play get shards on top of that. Which also reminds me of all the stories and stuff in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, the Pyukumuku Chuck in Pokemon Sun and Moon. So I mean, there were still like little things you could do daily. When you think about Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee has tons of daily events, respawning items, and like trainer interactions or Diglett interactions that give you extra items. So a lot of extra ways of getting money, a lot of things to do. So your dailies, you know, that's what I liked about Pokemon Sun and Moon. You do your Pokepelago for the day, and then you just kind of collect all of that passive benefit, maybe hop into the Festival Plaza, do a little bit right there, stock up on some FC, and then things are going to be pretty good. So that's what I would really like. You know, if there was maybe 2 or 3 daily things that take up 30 minutes to an hour every day in just Pokemon Sword and Shield, I run around the wild area for a bit and I just go and have some fun with competitive, those are features that could easily be implemented inside these games. And then I was also like thinking, so we have Pokemon Outbreak, we got Trophy Garden, we got the Dex Nav. The Dex Nav added an incredible amount of gameplay to Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire when you think about it as well, because you effectively gained experience finding the same Pokemon. That, you know, you got items, so as you saw more of them, you effectively leveled up in the item frequency that you get, the egg moves, the IVs, the shiny odds. So I mean, just a Dex Nav, the exact Dex Nav put into Pokemon Sword and Shield would enhance the gameplay and add so much extra to it. But if they make like an enhanced Dex Nav or a feature that goes beyond SOS, I would love a chaining system. You know, I love that you can do chaining in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. The catch combo was really cool and also brought so much to Pokemon Let's Go with the IVs, with the extra items you could get, with the shiny odds, with the candies. Now, I don't think candies is going to be in Pokemon Sword and Shield, but any like slight replacement or adjustment or enhancement to these already established systems that add gameplay, which would be super simple to add in Pokemon Sword and Shield, are, if not a guarantee, very likely and very easy to do. And then there's just the underground. So like I said, kind of tying it together, if there's any kind of underground minigame, it doesn't have to completely copy the Sinnoh Underground, but it'd still be really cool, and could still be really good, and it still seems fairly possible just with how large and expansive the Galar map, and that isn't even talking about what looks to be a battle frontier right here. So, at the very least, you know, battle facilities with a potential battle frontier tied in. There's all these big towns, there's all these big cities. Who knows everything that's happening in here? It looks like there's a market. So, I mean, that could be at least a little bit of extra gameplay, new items, new things to experience. There's a town, like not a town, but there's like a factory-looking building over here. There's multiple caves that we explore. There's one here, there's one here, there's some forest. That's a cave, that's a forest. The towns look pretty in-depth. And then this is a thing over here. It doesn't look like there's a gym. This could be like some kind of Joint Avenue thing. Maybe it's just an entire town of that. I'm reminded of like the Slateport Market in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, or even Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. Those are just extra things that add on to your gameplay. And then you tie that in with either some kind of Festival Plaza, some kind of customizable house or area or trainer thing that you can do. And this game is going to be overloaded with features to an incredible degree. While if you said yes to the question earlier in today's video, there's already enough. You know, I feel like there's already enough for me. I can spend my entire time playing Pokemon Sword and Shield between the wild area and competitive and probably be happy for months, if not an entire year. And then Diamond Pearl remakes just kind of keep opening this up even more. Ball capsule customization, I could spend dozens of hours on ball capsules, guys. That's some fun stuff. We could have contests, we could have the underground, any kind of base building like that, and that just kind of gets further from there. But a mini game where you get shards and get rewards, find items, stuff like that, that could also be pretty cool and something else to engage with. So, worst case scenario, Pokemon Sword and Shield is already good enough to stand on its own. Not even best case, just like neutral given scenario. There's going to be like 5 more gameplay features that enhance the depth and the rewards in this game immensely, because they're just going to build up on what we've already had. And even Generation 7 had incredible extra features outside the story, just extra gameplay and stuff like that to do. So that just gets better for Pokemon Sword and Shield, which look like better games, and there should be no reason to be disappointed. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.